What cunt? Oh, hey grandmother, how's it hanging? What's going on with you? Whoa, hold on a minute, slow down. What are you talking about? What do you mean men are in crisis? Uh-huh. What? I don't even know what that means. What the fuck's gender? Uh-huh. Yeah, okay, yeah. Cool. Grandmother, don't get me wrong. Love your opinions, just disrespectfully disagree. Stupid bitch. And welcome back to the program. And on today's episode of Snake Oil Salesman Sells, I'll be selling you, the typical male viewer, on what it means to be a real man. Now today there's many discussions on men, male problems, like loneliness, and conforming to new gender norms that make up our modern society. We still have difficulties dealing with our emotions. And the fact is that men's issues are generally trivialized or degraded when they're brought up in public discussions. It is into these discussions that Ed Boy emerges to give you the answer to the age-old question of how to successfully real man. First off the bat is bodies. Now as a man, you're gonna want to conform to a certain body type. And to ascertain this ideal body type, I've surveyed many women of the internet. But then they asked me for money, and well, they asked me for what I'd pay a man's wage worth of money, and I was like, nah, that's sort of defeating the purpose of your gender. So what I did instead, was I imagined the survey of what the ideal male body type is. I surveyed all of 2 women, and they've whispered this image into my ear. Now after hearing this image, I thought to myself, what do women know? I mean, they're women after all. So instead, I meditated on what the real ideal form of the male body was. And the conclusion I came to was that the ideal male body type is the one presented before you. As we have the guns, and we have the guts. This is a body type that's easily achievable if you have 2 things: good genetics and a mild addiction to 3 to 4 beers every evening. So, if you don't have these sculpted proportions, you're probably gonna live a lonely life, devoid of any females. Speaking of females, men are only attracted to women who resemble porn stars, or like goth thoughts, or cosplay thoughts, or e-thoughts, or anyone with that Hollywood body type. So men, if your girl doesn't look like this, you're not really with a woman, but you're in fact with a dog. Speaking of dogs, real men, they only own dogs. As the saying goes, dog is man's best friend. And as the purest representation of manlyhood can testify,
ditch the terrier and get yourself a proper dog. Any dog under 50 pounds is a cat, and cats are pointless.
What are we talking about again? Ah, that's right, breeding people. Now, real men don't talk to breeding people. 1, because they scare the shit out of me. And 2, because they're just generally inferior. And on a completely unrelated note, I, as a man, generally use anger as a coping mechanism when confronting things I fear. And boy, am I terrified of smart women. Because they're gonna run like literal laps around me, because like they're so smart, right? And I can't hit them because like the doy, of course I can't. And like, there goes my entire natural advantage. Because like, she's smarter than me, which means she's probably making more dough than me. And if she's making more dough than me, that means she's more of a provider than I am. Even just thinking about that emasculates me so much. Thus, when courting a woman, there are 3 mating strategies I can offer to you. 1, have the biggest stick. If you have the biggest stick, you can literally fight off another male for his girl. Now, the second strategy I can offer you is the one of distance. You're at a party, right? You see this beautiful woman walk through the door, and she's sort of, hanging out, sort of enjoying herself, sort of not really. Now, the technique you're gonna employ is, you're gonna intently stare at her pretty creepily. And what this is going to do, is it's going to break down her mental fortifications, slowly eroding her desire, slowly eroding her repulsion at you staring at her. So what this is going to do, is it's going to like creep her out until she falls out of pity or disgust or self-loathing, and she'll ask you out instead. The third way to get a girl is to make loud monkey hooting noises in their general direction. But be aware, right? Because this can have the unfortunate side effect of attracting all these other men. Just remember that the opposite sex are strictly objects with a hysterical inclination to over-emotionalize. Speaking of emotions, men do not have them. I don't even know what crying is. So if you, as a man, wish to chat with me, and it's not about like the game or pussy or fishing, I don't want to fucking hear it. Alright? If you have feelings you want to air out, stop that. Because if you start sharing, and if other men start sharing their issues, then men as a whole are going to slip down a slippery slope which will end a critical aspect that forms our identity. A loss of said identity will practically make us gay and fat. Remember, the only outlook on life you need is a strictly stoic one. Speaking of life, real men take lives ad hoc. If you have not followed the male cultural tradition of killing your own food, killing a man in the glory of warfare, or haven't lynched a minority, can you even call yourself a man? In raising the next generation of men, we need to instill the values brought to us from the ancient past. They have defined us, and we will be defined by them. In the context of modern society, men are under attack, as the upheavals from feminism, queerism, and minorityism threaten our status quo. Thus, we must defend ourselves from modernity by retarding ourselves into the simplicity of the past, lest our great culture and all of our achievements be ruined by those progressives not even of male stock. Speaking of the pinnacle of male stock,
there's no female alive, even with a machete, that would stand a chance against the immense power I possess.
Is this truly your messiah? This twink who's so afraid of women that he started an all-boys club? I mean, it just sounds pretty fucking gay. Like, alright, don't get me wrong, right? There's probably some fanboys out there. I'm sure he does some manly things, like, okay, yeah, alright, he's a pretty good boxer. Hold on a minute. No, he's a kickboxer, and that's practically a girl sport. He's pretty rich though. He has many cars, but like, cause many women own lots of cars, right? Cause it doesn't take a man to own cars, it takes money to own cars. But like, alright, if I ask this girl to change a tire, I know she just can't because of cognitive inabilities. But if I ask Andrew Tate to change a tire, I also don't think he could change a tire because of cognitive inabilities. But like, whatever, yeah, he probably does many other manly things. I see he drinks bourbon and smokes cigars. And maybe he thinks that's manly? But like, for comparison, right? Here in Australia, we feed bourbon and cigars to infants because it's just so fucking weak. If you ask me, what really makes him popular is his wit and sharp tongue. And more realistically, the fact that the left abandoned men. So like, if you consider Tatey the apex of masculinity, well, I guess men are truly fucked. So how'd you like the video, grandmother? You like that one? What do you mean I left something out? Oh, shit, you're right. My bad. Well, I guess I'll just have to do a follow-up video, just, saying why men should just love their car more than their girl. If you're not literally fucking your car, can you even call yourself a man? Like, I know Granddad did that. Oh, well, that's the reason he got divorced? Shit, I didn't know that. Sorry, what was that? No, grandmother, I still don't have a girlfriend. Please stop asking.